how are you able to identify these energy spaces, or how are you connecting with them? Okay, so I think like this is a very simple questions. So we always have to give credit to all the beings that whom has actually traveled all across these energy spaces in the past. Of course, Adi Shankaracharya is one of them. We actually visited all these places not because he was a pilgrim, but he wanted to unify all these like energy spaces and all the spiritual processes and different kind of sects and everything, different ways of reaching the divine. They were in conflict at this time, so he did that one. So he was able to visit all these places, but that is not limited. Apart from that one, like just like Sadhguru says, that our ability to reach the world is like a far more simplified because we are living in the 21st century, and Google is of course there. You can look into the YouTube, you can find the one enlightened being, search in the internet, and you can find the places, but it is not that always that straightforward. There are few also things. If you guys want to do it, because I don't want this thing to die with me or somebody else. I know like many people are also doing their way, but I know like these guys are not sharing enough. So one thing is like to find, one thing is you Google it, you see in the internet like there are some keywords you have to use. Temple is the first thing, popular temples. You followed with the samadhis, Sakti Peeths, Jiva Samadhis. These are the like different kind of keywords. And then like there are different other things like that you can actually make use of it. For example, like you can use the keywords like, you know, Brindavanam. Okay, Brindavanam is the word that the Vaishnavite way actually uses the keyword for that one. If you are looking into the Sufi mystics, of course, like they have also got very powerful dargahs and everything, which actually technically terms as the samadhis also. These are also the energy spaces. You can just look into the reviews and everything, but once you reach to the point, we also need to understand that like not everything is alive. Not all temples are alive. That was the reason like why I actually did this yatra. It's not realistic to go to each and every temples. So because of that reason, like we actually prioritize the Jyotirlingas first, and then like we did the Sakti Peeths, as well as on the way like whichever samadhis we get, and then the enlightened beings that we have read or like heard about it. But what actually happens is when you reach to the temple or like any of the samadhis, we interacted with the people, and that's from where like you can actually get more leads, and you can always find like a very rare kind of places also, which we cannot even imagine, different kind of things. And we also need to understand that like not all temples are actually the actual place, because in many contexts like you can actually find that the main deity is one place, but for some reason like they have actually created the shrine in another place, like which may not have the energy, and that actually makes this kind of yatra very interesting and, you know, very important also. So coming back to the second question, like how to connect and everything, is basically there are two ways we need to understand. If you want to become, you know, connect to the deity or something, there are two things. Again, like this is very sacred to share this kind of things, and it's also a privilege that I would be sharing this, because I do not know like all of you are going to search somewhere or something, you may or may not be able to find. There is certain things, something known as the receptivity, and there is something known as the sensitivity. Sensitivity basically means that, for example, the light is coming, I don't have the ability to close my eyes or control how much I want to receive. This is known as the sensitivity. Some other people are born this way, and some other people, because of certain reasons, like I'll not go into too much details and everything, because of various reasons and everything, like their energy system becomes very sensitive to the energies. Now you need to understand that sensitivity and receptivity are not the same thing. You have to do a lot of sadhana and everything so that you can have control over that sensitivity, so it can become the receptivity. Receptivity basically means I will have the ability to, you know, accept or stop from receiving. That is what is meant by the receptivity. and there's no shortcut for the sadhana. So if you want to connect or something, like if you have done a lot of sadhana, and then like I've seen like people who have just done the Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya, they are like very good receptive to these energies. So you don't necessarily need to do like the advanced programs or something for this one, but you just need to be regular with your sadhana. And if you have experience like other dimensions and everything, then I don't think like it's a difficult task for you. Like anybody can get connected to the energies. But one thing what I want to iterate to things is, the first thing what you need to understand is like do not go and like sit into the energy space for too long, unless like you have got very stable energy system and everything with your sadhana and everything. There's a reason like why you need to do this, because just like we know water is the source of our life, but if you drink too much water, then we'll get drowned. So we have to understand like whenever you are making use of the energies or something, you can go and sit and meditate, and then like you come out, you don't expose to those kind of energies for too long or something. Again, your energy system will tell you anyways, but you never overdo it or something like that. It's just like eating also, because it's empowering, but like just like I said, too much energy into the system. For example, you have a battery, and then if you charge the battery too much, which you can handle, of course, with your sadhana, advanced programs or something, your capability to handle, carry the energies, and there are a lot of other things like which I don't find it necessary to explain, but that is the one thing you need to keep in mind. And another thing is like do not go and sit wherever you want, because like the nature of the different energies are going to be completely different also. For example, like you should not go being, for example, like if you are in a family situation, you should not go and sit next to the deities like Kali or Tara, or even like different forms of Vairavi also. Linga Vairavi is an exception, like Sadhguru has constituted in a way which is, you can say like it is acceptable for us, like it's conducive for everyone, and it's going to empower us. But the original form of Vairavi is not conducive for everyone. It needs like a certain kind of practices, Kala Vairava or different kind of temples. These are also like a completely different. Or do not try to go and sit in place of like a cremation grounds and everything. These things you should use with the common sense and everything also, because the energy is just like, it's just like the same thing like using the alcohol with responsibility. Same thing, we need to develop the responsibility on this one also. So just like and one thing what I wanted to tell you is, if you are receptive enough, if you enter a certain space or something, I've actually found like many places which is very sad in a way. The pujari was actually conducting the puja in a place where there was no energy, and there was another place where there was an energy. And since this is a public platform, I cannot use the example of the specific temple because it will not be fair for them. So if you just continue your sadhana, these things will come to you naturally. Just like Sadhguru says that the capability in the physicality or physical world can be limited due to various things, but the inner dimension is open to everyone. Thank you for asking.